All right. More often than not, when people talk about their physique transformations and body game, they talk about their experiences with women. And obviously so, because dudes want to know, like, yo, if I'm working out, if I'm putting all this work in, you know, will it pay off? Will the women like it? Will the women, how are the women gonna react? And I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, it will only work in your benefit. All right, women will only be nicer to you. They will only be more attracted to you. I've never met a woman who said something along the lines of, "Oh, I wish you were fatter," or "Oh, I wish you weren't so in shape." The only way that getting into good shape or getting into like getting muscular would be a detriment is if you were to take steroids and inject all this weird stuff to where you're just like extremely big. And even then, some women still like that. Some women still like that, some women still like that level of muscle. But some also just think it's a little bit too much. But if you build like an aesthetic physique, like I hate a part of me doesn't want to use myself as an example because it feels like I'm like jerking myself off. But I have an aesthetic physique. I have the V taper. I'm not saying I'm the most aesthetic man on the planet, but when you get that V taper going, when you get the broad shoulders, when your clothes hugs your arms nicely, it will only work in your benefit. All right, women are seriously. If I compare it to before when I was fatter, when I was out of shape, women are 10 times nicer. It'll be to the point, I'll never forget, the other day, I was at this new gym and I had to like sign this. It was like a 3-day pass, so I had to sign this tablet. I had to do like all this paperwork and whatnot. The lady at the front desk, very beautiful woman, by the way, very, very beautiful woman. She could not stop smiling. And she was a little nervous too. Like when she went to go hand me the tablet, she actually dropped it. That was kind of cute. I don't know. It's just cute saying things like that. Like, oh, I make you nervous. I don't know. It's just, it's just cute. But she was smiling the whole time. Like she would say something, right, and she'd look away. She'd look at me again, and all of a sudden she'd just start smiling. And it wasn't like an inauthentic thing. It wasn't like like the customer service kind of thing where they're just like this the whole time, like just trying to be friendly and whatnot. I'm not saying that she was in love with me or anything like that either. All right, I'm not gonna get on here and like jerk myself off and say, oh my goodness, all women I meet are falling in love with me. But they're just a lot nicer because you're just a lot more appealing. You're just a lot more pleasing to the eye. It's as simple as that. Especially if you're nice, if you're kind, if you're respectful. Because here's another thing: you can be the most attractive guy in the world. You still got to be respectful. You still got to have manners. You still got to say good morning, good afternoon, how are you, and be funny. Be funny to talk to. Be quick witted. You don't got to be a comedian. You don't got to be Dave Chappelle, but just be someone that's nice to talk to. Someone who smiles, someone who makes jokes, someone who finds light in the darkness. That sounds like some Batman shit, but you can make a joke out of like a bad situation. It just benefits you overall. Like we don't even have to go super in depth, but that was one example. There was another lady at that counter who was also she was like around my age. The first one I'm talking about was a little bit older, but there was another lady who was around my age, very nice as well, and they just like you just see it in their eyes. All right, the eyes. Listen, the eyes don't lie. Like they just look at you different. Some of them can't stop looking at you. Some of them just can't stop looking, and it's really nice. It's really nice. People might say that, oh, I'm being arrogant. I'm being this. I'm being that. And on one hand, maybe I am. I thought for a second, I thought I saw somebody pass by. I was about to freak out. Maybe I am, but it's just a nice thing. It's just a very nice thing to be attractive to the opposite sex. I feel like this is how women feel as well. When dudes are attracted to them, when dudes show them signs of interest, I feel like it's the same exact thing. And as men, more often than not, the way we're born isn't enough. All right, most of us aren't born extremely attractive. Like even me, like I'm not gonna again. I don't mean this to be arrogant, but through like getting leaner, I realized that I have like a pretty good like face. Like my face is built in a nice way. I don't have the fucking the hunter eyes, or I don't have the cantilever tilt, whatever that thing is called. But I got a nice jawline. My cheeks are somewhat hollow. They don't look that hollow right now, but there'll be times where like after I'm done with cardio and they like I didn't realize I had a very attractive face. But because I was fat for so long, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. And more often than not, people don't even like reach their full potential to see how attractive they really are, see how good they can really be. You know, more like you gotta understand that being in good shape, like looking like this, yeah, it sounds very arrogant, but most people aren't doing this. Even people who go to the gym, like you know how many times I've seen people who are in the gym and they have a good amount of muscle, but like they're also kind of like fat, to where it's like you can tell that they work out, but they don't have like that. This is gonna sound kind of gay, but like they don't have like that sex appeal. You know, like they don't have like that V taper. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference. There's a massive difference. Like girls still knew I worked out back when I was bigger, but they didn't see me as the same way as they do now. All right, it's way different now. It's way different now. They're a lot nicer now. They're a lot more pleasant now. They're a lot more sweet now. I've also noticed one thing, you tend to bring out like the sweeter side, like the softer, the more the more not feminine, but no, feminine side of women. Like women are just a lot sweeter, a lot sweeter. Like there'll be times where I'll be talking, it'll be like a coworker or someone at the gym, and they're just smiling all the time. They're just smiling, they're just laughing, they're giggling, they're being sweet, they're being nice, and I can only assume it's like the halo effect. It's like, because you're attractive and because you just appear, you're just so pleasing to the eye. They're just a lot nicer. They're just a lot nicer to you. I won't say they're less difficult to deal with, I guess. like I don't really get shit tested that much. I don't really have to like put up with like a lot of BS that I see some dudes put up with online. And all I can tell you guys is, one second, is it's just a lot nicer. All right? Life only gets better. Life only gets better when you get in better shape. Life only gets better when you practice this stuff. The only negative, and it's not even really a negative, it just simply exposed this to me. It exposes to you how much jealousy and hate there is in the world, specifically with other men. All right, the amount of times I've been like not mean mugged, but I've been stared at in the gym, or I've been like I've looked up and caught someone staring. With women is one thing, all right? Women, more often than not, they're just attracted, all right? I've never caught a woman staring and thought to myself, oh, she hates me. No, more often than not, if they hate you, they're not even gonna bother looking at you. Or if they don't want anything to do with you, they're not gonna bother looking at you. More often than not, she's looking at you. She's attracted, bro. She's attracted. But with dudes, on one hand, it could be like they're admiring. It could be that they see you and they're just like, damn, like this guy's like in shape. But there's times where you can like, the eyes don't lie. The eyes never lie, bro. I done caught dudes looking, and you can just tell it's just like an envy thing. Because another way to tell is that more often than not, these dudes are fat. Or these dudes aren't where they want to be at. These dudes aren't on the same level as you. They'll just be looking at you like, and it's almost to the point where like you get angry. I won't lie. Like Sunday, I went to the gym and I actually worked out in a tank top. I had on a windbreaker. I took it off mid workout. Oh, dude, the amount of couples that were there, and I caught their girlfriends looking. Some of them were even staring. It was crazy. It was crazy, and then I eventually, like, the dude started looking as well, and I don't know, it kind of sucks. It's a difficult situation, because on one hand, I want to make it clear, like, listen, I'm pumped, but I'm not even trying. Like, I'm just there, I'm just getting my pump going, all right? I'm just working out. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see the way my muscles look in this tank top, and some of them just can't help but look. And then the dudes feel some type of way. And this is gonna sound like me being a douchebag, but what can I do, man? What can I do? Like, I'm not even going out my way. I'm not. It's not like I'm posted up in front of their girlfriend, like flexing and doing all that, or like posing. Not that there's anything wrong with like taking pictures of yourself in the gym, but I'm not really doing that, and I'm not doing it like in front of them or anything like that. But I remember there was one couple in particular. I won't lie, that woman. Oh my goodness, beautiful woman, beautiful woman. She had a really nice body as well. But she was with her boyfriend, or at least I'm assuming that was her boyfriend. I'm going to assume that was her boyfriend, or it was somebody. It was a dude who was in there or whatever, right? And I'm talking with one of my friends, and we're talking about the bench. We were on a bench press, and I just randomly look to my right, staring, and then she looks away, but her boyfriend's looking at me, and I kind of just like look at him for a second. And then I look back at my friend. Like, it's just a thing where you're just like looking around, and you'll just catch stuff like that. And on one hand, I won't lie, it feeds my ego. It feeds my ego because it's like I'm getting noticed. Like, people see me. Like, there was a point in time where that wasn't the case. There was a point in time where I walk in the gym and I felt like a ghost. I felt like nobody saw me. I just felt like invincible or invisible. On one hand, it feeds my ego, but on the other hand, like the dude would start feeling some type of way. And honestly, if I was in his situation, the only like remedy to that is to just improve, to just get into good shape yourself. And I feel like too many people fail to see that. Too many people fail to realize that, and they just see it as like, oh, this guy thinks he's all that. This guy thinks he's this guy thinks he's that. The only situation, like the only positive, is to get in good shape yourself. And the dude wasn't even in that bad of shape. He just wasn't like lean or anything like that. But he wasn't like overly fat. He wasn't ugly or anything like that. The only remedy in that situation is to just improve. That's it. Because if you use that as an excuse to be like, oh, this guy thinks he's all this guy thinks he's all that, and start hating him, it doesn't even have to be me. It could be somebody else who's like really in shape. You don't gain anything from it. You don't gain anything. If anything, you're seen as weaker, because it's like, dude, you want to complain about it? Why don't you just get into good shape yourself? And that's the thing. I feel like too many people fail to understand that you don't really gain much from complaining. You don't really gain much from like mean mugging people at the gym, from like looking at people a certain way, or for maybe they're not even mean mugging. Maybe they're just like admiring, or they're just staring just to stare. You don't gain much from that either. All right, like if I see someone who's in really good shape, more often than not, like I'll hit them I'll go up to them, I'll just like fist bump them. I'd be like, yo, you looking solid, bro. You looking solid. All right, and I'll make a joke like, I'm trying to get like you. And then that's it. If they end up being like really cool, I'll introduce myself, we'll dap each other up and whatever. But I'm not gonna waste my time like just like staring at them in the gym and just thinking like, oh, he thinks he's all this, he thinks he's all that. Oh, this guy thinks he's the shit. You don't gain much from it. All right. More often than not, I see these dudes and I think to myself like, damn, like I still got so many. Like there's still so much left to do. There's still so many levels to reach, so many levels to climb. This is an infinite game, and I just don't see a point in like looking at someone and just figuring out ways to like hate on him, or ways to just belittle him. I never thought like that. I've never been a hater in that regard. I've seen people who were in better shape than me, and like back when I was fat, it would piss me off because there would be people who'd be working out for like way shorter than I was, but who looked better than me, despite me being in this game for like about 7 to 8 years. But I never got mad at the individual. I'm more often than not, I got mad at myself. I'm like, if he can look like that with less amount of time training, why can't I look better? Why do I look the way that I look? And I would channel it towards myself. I would channel that energy, that anger into my goals, into my ambition, into my drive. All right, to improve myself, not to belittle the other guy. And that's the unfortunate reality that I realized by practicing this, by getting into better shape. A lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people will see you and they'll just instantly like get to assuming. They'll think that you're full of yourself, that you're arrogant, that you're cocky, that they just think all these negative things, and they just fail to realize that they could. I'm not special. All right, you'll see it in the thumbnail. I was fat as hell myself. I wasn't always as good looking. Let me not say that. That sounds very arrogant. I wasn't always in the best shape. All right, I've been fat before, but there comes a time where you just gotta realize, like, hey, bro, I want to look a certain way. I'm gonna put in the work to do it, and the only person who can do that is me. I gotta get up off my ass. I gotta stop eating all these sweets. I gotta stop eating all these candies. I gotta finally do something. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And that being said, those are my experiences. I hope you guys can relate. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And that's all I gotta say. Y'all be easy.